So my speakers broke. They only work on the left, not the right. So this is me trying to fix them. First things first, I immediately start taking things apart because that's always my first instinct, only to be disappointed to find out that everything on the inside is making contact just fine. You can even see it in there, kind of near my thumb. That's where the jack plugs in and everything's making contact. So I begrudgingly put it back together and go to troubleshoot something else. The cable, which, guess what, was broken. That little bare wire is supposed to be the white wire that you'll see in the next shot. And there it is. They're not supposed to be disconnected like that. So I sacrificed an old adapter that used to be used for headphones and started getting annoyed with the fish tank sounds. So I went and filled that up with more water. Got everything together because I was going to have to splice these two ends together and was trying to find all the parts for soldering because it's been a while since I've done this without my temperature controlled set. So what I'm doing here is burning off the outer coating on the tips of the wires so that I have the wires exposed. The problem with those wires is because they're so incredibly thin, they would ultimately just end up breaking when I would try to strip the casing off of them. It's important to keep the wires tidy as well. You don't have very many strands and tiny wires like that. Here I'm applying Chipquik, which is a form of flux. When you get it really hot, like with a soldering iron, it'll get all of the debris and dirt and stuff like that off of it, so you'll get a nice solid bond. At this point, I'm tinning all the wires, which is basically just putting a tiny blob of solder on the tip of each of them, so that when I inevitably do go to join the two halves together, it goes smoothly. Basically, what I'm going to be doing here is taking one cable and connecting it to another cable. There's 3 wires that I'm joining. The bare wire is ground, which is a common connection between both of them, and then we have the left and the right channel, which are denoted by the white and red wires. So it's very, very difficult to even see what I'm doing when I'm right in front of it, but here you can see I finally got it tinned. I think here I'm testing it. That made the right channel work. And now I'm going to test the left. I always love when things work the first time. That was basically trying to figure out which wire was which. I'm colorblind, and doing that little test there gave me the ability to make sure the wires that I was soldering together permanently weren't the wrong ones, so I wasn't going to have to do it all a second time over. So at this point, I've put a little bit of shrink tubing on the cable so that when I'm done, I'm able to just hit it all with a torch and everything stays nice and compact, and won't have any issues with the wires shorting into each other. You're going to see me in a moment here after I finish soldering that I will verify everything works, and then I'll hit it with that torch. My wire came out a little pokey, so I'm mashing it down with a pair of pliers. Sometimes you get that little blob of solder and it ends up sticking out. Here I'm trying very hard to get Kapton tape in between all the individual wires. I'm not using standard electrical tape here because electrical tape is a little less resistant to heat. And I'm going to be hitting this with a torch. But yeah, that Kapton tape is going to make sure that things don't short out when I mash everything together and make one cohesive cable harness. I'm having trouble here trying to get it over the Kapton tape without pushing the tape off. And that is the most satisfying thing in the world, watching the shrink tubing actually shrink. It wasn't quite long enough, so I'm adding another piece over top both the original shrink tubing and the rest of the cable. That just gives me an extra layer of security there. And it worked.